Good evening, beautiful souls, and welcome to our Wednesday Creative Living series. There's something that you don't know. Your presence here, it's a blessing. And whether you rushed in from work, or you took the subway, or you're logged in from your couch at home, you are very welcome, and we appreciate you being here with us. I'm grateful you are here because tonight's lesson is one we all need, no matter where we are on our spiritual path. The title of this lesson tonight is I'm Human. Two simple words, but beneath those two words, it's an ocean of meaning. I'm human. We say I'm human all the time, but mostly when we are explaining a mistake, a flaw, a tough feeling, or something we wish would have done differently. But I'm human. Sometimes something happens, you say, but I'm human. But tonight, I want to take those two words and turn them into a doorway into grace, compassion, laughter, honesty, and spiritual awakening. Because in our classes, being human, it's not an obstacle to spirituality. It's the very place where spirit expresses. It's the very place where we see spirit expressing itself. It's where the divine shows up in your emotions, in your growth, in your mistakes, in your breakthroughs, in your messy moments, and in your victories. Tonight we will explore the truth that our humanity isn't separate from the divine. It's all part of it. I'm human sounds like an incomplete sentence, almost as if a word is missing. But that's exactly what makes it powerful. It's simple and direct. No titles, no qualifiers, no trying to sound important. I'm human. I'm just human. Just like that. It reminds us that we don't need extra words to justify our existence or our worth. Just being human, it's enough. That's all we need. That's all we need for spirit to do its best work in us. It invites you, every one of us, into a deeper conversation. It asks you to fill in the blank. I'm human and I'm learning. I'm human because you're human, you are growing. I'm human and I'm divine. I'm human, I'm doing my best. I'm human, I'm becoming more each day. You are human, I am human, and full of spirit. See, many of us try to be superhuman, perfect, put together, unshaken, flawless. But the spiritual journey isn't about leaving humanity behind. It's about letting spirit live through your humanity, opening the door, allowing spirit. The divine doesn't shine through perfection. It shines through authenticity. When you just come the way you are. Just that statement, here I am. It's about knowing that Spirit, God, is not waiting for you to become perfect before moving through you. Just like it says, a complete, a whole person that's not sick does not need healing. Spirit is already expressing in your real life, your personality, your history, your joy, your questions, and even your scars. Spirit is expressing itself through all of this. You know what happens? Perfection is only a mask we wear when we fear being seen. but we want to come just the way we are and present ourselves with our flaws. So, Spirit, we have somewhere to come in and dwell and amend. Spirit shines through honesty, through the moments you are kind, even when you are tired, through the times you choose hope without knowing how things will unfold. Every sincere word, every humble apology, every act of grace becomes proof that your humanity is the very place where Spirit wants to show up. So when you allow yourself to be real, real about your feelings, your needs, your strength, and your struggles, you open the space for Spirit to use all of you. Your laughter can comfort someone. Your tears can create room for healing. Your story can remind another soul that they are not alone. And your imperfections, those mistakes, can become doorways for compassion and wisdom. So nothing is wasted in our lives as humans. Nothing about you, again, is wasted. Everything becomes material for Spirit to shine through you. Yes, that mistake, that flaw, that scar is a resource in the hands of Spirit to shine through you. Letting Spirit live through your humanity is simply saying, here I am, imperfect, growing, willing, and I am open for love, truth, and wisdom to flow through me. Nothing about you is wasted. There is a mysterious, almost playful way that Spirit works in the world. Spirit often uses the very things people overlook, the things we dismiss or we call foolish, to reveal a deeper wisdom. It's as if the universe intentionally bypasses the loud, the polished, the self-important, and instead chooses the simple, the humble, the unexpected, the available, the open person. It comes from openness. It comes from availability. It comes from a heart that says, I may not have it all together, but I am willing. If you are willing and obedient, when people think they already know everything, there is no room for Spirit to enter. But when one who feels ordinary, unsure, or even unqualified, that is the one one Spirit can flow through with ease, because there is space. When we are complete, we are perfect. We do not have any need of Spirit. But when we are human, with all our flaws, then we are saying, Spirit within, here is the opportunity. Let you have your way. Spirit has never needed perfect vessels. Spirit has never waited for flawless people. Throughout history, the ones who made the greatest impact weren't the flawless or the expected. They were the ones who accepted their humanity and still said yes. Yes to the process of life. Yes to healing. Yes to abundance. It was their openness, not their perfection, that allowed something greater to move through them. We often say yes to the process of life. And what is that process of life? The good. Everything working out for your own good. When you say yes to who you are and to the journey you are on, you step into the same power that works in us. A shepherd boy with a slingshot, just a shepherd boy, wasn't expected. The stuttering man asked to speak for a nation. And in our modern time, it looks like the same thing. It looks like the caregiver who thinks what they do is small, not realizing they are the very hands of spirit in someone's darkest moment. It looks like the teacher who speaks one encouraging sentence that opens a student's mind in a way they'll remember for years. And it looks like us right here in our own community during our sharing time. A single insight, a smile, a story of growth, a small victory, or even a moment of honesty can become that word that lifts someone else's spirit. By just being yourself, by just sharing your demonstration, when you allow spirit in. Sometimes the thing you say casually, the thing you almost didn't share, becomes the very message another person needed to hear. Sometimes all we need is a single word. I've often said that. One that resonates, takes root, and grows beautifully when we nurture it. So in a space like ours, your awareness becomes someone else's breakthrough. Your courage to share, to be here, encourages someone. Your being human, sharing your mistakes, your past, encourages another person that he or she is not alone. Spirit has always delighted in using the unexpected, the ordinary, the overlooked, and the underestimated, because the divine isn't in the vessel, it's in the willingness, in your willingness to show up as human. Spirit does not ask for your perfection. God asks you for a yes. In your human nature, just a yes, that's all you need. You don't have to be all that. All we need is a yes. Yes. And when you say yes, your simple life becomes a stage where the extraordinary can unfold. You know, when we say yes, it's almost like we are connecting ourselves, aligning with that flow. And once we align with that flow, everything begins to work from good to greater good, the exceedingly, the abundantly, and above. Even in the challenge, even in the sickness, because you know you're coming out of it. It's almost as though Spirit delights in taking what the world calls not enough, turning it into more than enough. Takes what we call not enough and it turns it into more than enough. Because when the vessel looks imperfect, that's exactly where the brilliance of Spirit has room to shine. So we are learning, knowing that our human nature, it's no mistake. It's actually a material in the hands of Spirit. We know that the power never comes from the personality, the history, or the human resume. It comes from the infinite life that expresses through you, through me. We are one with that infinite life. In it we live, we move, and we have our being. This vessel doesn't need to be flawless, doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be willing, to be receptive, open. Readiness is human measurement, but willingness is a spiritual one. The universe is not asking you to become perfect. It's asking you to become present. Just be here and here now. Just be here. Just be open. Because in the present moment, every and all things are possible. if you believe and align to it. Your yes, your inner agreement with the divine has always carried more creative force, more power than your qualifications. You can do all things, not through your qualifications, not through your connections. We can do all things through that power that's at work within you. When you say yes, you become a place where the infinite can do what only the infinite can do. Sometimes being human is messy. We say things we regret. We try to be patient, but we lose our temper. We want to trust, but sometimes fear takes over. Being human means you will have days of clarity and days of confusion, days of courage and days of doubt, days of overflowing gratitude, and days where you can barely get out of bed. But the spiritual path isn't about avoiding the mess. No, it's about finding meaning inside the mess and knowing spirit is present in all of it, not just the polished parts, in all our stories. Let me share a story. There was a woman who wanted to make fresh lemonade every morning. She bought the best juicer, the best lemons, and the best pitcher. But every time she cut the lemons, she complained the lemons are too sour. Why can't they taste sweet from the start? Why do I have to squeeze them so hard? Why do I have to strain the seeds out? Why isn't this easier? One day her grandmother visited and watched her grumbling over lemons. "Child," she said, "lemons are supposed to be sour. That's why they transform when you add water and sweetness." And that's the beauty of it. The magic doesn't come before the work. It comes through the work that we do, the work that you do. Being human is exactly like making lemonade. You come with your sour moments, your challenges, your wounds, your fears, your reactions, your insecurities. But when you mix them with awareness, with healing, with compassion, with insight, with love and patience, you create something beautiful. Your sour parts are not failures. Those ugly parts, those messy parts, they are not failures. They are ingredients. They are materials in the hands of spirit. One of the biggest misunderstandings in spirituality is the idea that high vibrations means you're never upset, you're never sad, you're never afraid, you're never angry, you're never confused. No, no. But human emotions are not flawless. They are signals. Those messy times, they are signals. They are pointers. They can be teachers. They are tools. And when we quiet ourselves and lean in, we understand. Again, sometimes anger teaches us boundary. So anger is a material in the hands of spirit. It's a tool. Sadness teaches us release. Fear sometimes teaches us preparation. So anything, any situation is a material we can use. It's a learning curve. Discomfort shows where healing is needed. So you're uncomfortable with a situation, and something, spirit is prompting you for something. You are not supposed to avoid your emotions. They are tools. You are meant to listen to them and let them guide you into deeper clarity. Like I said, everything about our life, they are tools, they are materials. But we need to calm down and work with those things and know the direction the Spirit is leading us. When you understand this, you can say, I am human, therefore I am growing. So being human, it's not a problem. It's actually the best resource for spirit. Let me tell another story. A nurse once said she felt like a failure after crying during a difficult moment with a patient's family. She said, I should have been stronger. But the family later wrote her a letter saying, we trusted you because you were human. You didn't hide your professionalism. You cared. Her human moment wasn't weakness. It was a healing force. What's real in you heals what is wounded in others. The things you take for granted, or you just say you have just been human, they are resources. They may be the thing the next person is looking for. Humanity connects us. Pretending disconnects us. Spirit is not waiting for you to become perfect. Spirit is waiting for you to become available, to become open, to become willing. The divine expresses through things like your kindness, your humor, your compassion, your mistakes, because they become lessons. Your small wins, your big heart, and your willingness to keep trying, to keep showing up. Again, you do not need to be flawless for spirit to walk through you. All you need is an open heart, just the way you are. And sometimes being human can be hilarious. We promise ourselves we'd go to bed early, then stay up scrolling social media like it's our night job. Then we set alarms with great confidence, then press the snooze button like it owes us money. We decide to eat healthy and then forget the plan by lunchtime. It just happens to all of us, but that's our human nature. That's why we are human. And here is the beautiful part. None of this is outside spirit. Every imperfect moment becomes a doorway for wisdom. Every retry becomes a little awakening, and every laugh loosens something inside us that was too tight to begin with. Nothing is a mistake. Nothing is valueless. Everything about you is a resource. Being human isn't a distraction from our spirituality. It's one of the ways spirit gets to express its creativity, its curiosity, and its joy through us. Being human also means that you outgrow versions of yourself. Every version of you was necessary. That mistake was the reason why you're here now. That challenge is the reason why you learned the lesson. So every version of you is very necessary to who you are and to who you are becoming. The version that didn't know better, the version that tried too hard, and the version that dimmed their light, the version that settled, the version that avoided tough truths, the version that didn't speak up, the version that kept going even when tired. All of them were classrooms. There is something to learn from that version. You don't need to judge old versions of yourself. Like we say, you did the best you knew, you know, with the information you had. You just need to graduate from them. Saying I'm human also means I'm allowed to evolve. We are not stagnant. We keep moving from good to greater good, from glory to glory, the exceedingly, the abundantly, and above. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, which means your essence is divine while your journey unfolds through your humanity. Again, your true power, my true power, comes from aligning, and your humanity is the vessel through which your divinity expresses. When you stop resisting your humanity, you gain a new kind of vision. You know what happens? You start to see imperfections as stepping stones and your emotions as teachers. You learn from every experience. You begin to understand that I'm human doesn't mean I'm limited. It means I'm growing, I'm getting better, I'm expanding, I'm awakening, I'm constantly becoming more of who I truly am. I'm human because I can do better next time. We are human because we are improving as we align with this principle. When you embrace your humanity, you stop pretending, you stop performing, you stop shrinking, you stop over explaining, you even stop apologizing for your evolution, and you stop hiding your truth. And when you start breathing again, laughing more, and trusting yourself, saying no where needed, and saying yes to what aligns. You make your mistakes, you learn from your mistakes, and you move on. Again, authenticity is the playground of spirit, being true to yourself. Spirit likes those environments within. When you are real, spirit can work with that. When you pretend, there's nothing for spirit to transform. So we want to come as we are. Your heart is the meeting point of the human and the divine. The heart feels everything: joy, the heartbreak, longing, gratitude, fear, excitement, loss of hope. But your heart is not fragile, it's flexible. It can take a lot more. Like a tree that bends in the wind, your heart is built to endure, adapt, and grow. If your heart has been stretched, it means it's expanding. Your humanity makes your heart sensitive, and your divinity makes your heart strong. Show me someone who never makes mistakes, and I'll show you someone who never tried anything new. Someone unwilling to stretch, to grow, or expand into their own infinite capacity. We all want to expand into our own infinite capacity. But there may be mistakes in doing that, and we learn from the mistakes and move on. Human life is full of wrong thorns, wrong choices, and wrong assumptions. And yet, every wrong turn taught you something right. But I wonder why we call it wrong when it's eventually working out for our own good. Mistakes are not signs of failure, they are signs of movement. A ship that never leaves the shore never encounters waves, but it also never reaches new lands. So we're on our individual journeys. And the person who will not make mistakes probably is the person that doesn't take that journey. Your mistakes show you are sailing, you are moving. So we don't want to be afraid of moving or being human or making mistakes. Spiritually, I'm human means that I'm learning to love myself. I made a mistake again, but I love myself. I love and approve of myself exactly the way I am. I forgive myself. I honor where I am and embrace my evolution. I allow myself to be real. I accept my emotions without shame. You are human enough to feel the struggle and divine enough to rise from it. Okay, so let's take these affirmations. My humanity is not a flaw. It's my gateway to growth. I'm learning. I'm evolving. I'm becoming more every day. Spirit expresses through all of me, even my imperfections. I give myself permission to be real, open, and human. I grow with grace. I learn with humor. I rise with courage. I am human, and that is holy. You are human, and that is divine. That is the best resource for spirit within to work with. There's an ancient story about a clay pot. The pot lived in a village and always complained, I am rough, I am imperfect, I have cracks. Why am I not smooth like the metal pots? One day the son spoke to the pot and said, your cracks are how my light escapes when someone carries you. Your roughness gives people grip so they don't drop you. Your shape holds water for travelers. You have no idea how useful you are. The pot looked down at its cracked, rough surface and said, oh, I didn't know. The son replied, that is why I shine, to show you who you truly are. We are the pot. Spirit is that sun. Your human imperfections are not burdens. They are openings for the light. As you bring this lesson to a close, I want you to place your hand on your heart and feel it beating. Steady, warm, alive, because you are human, you are divine, you are evolving, you are learning, and you are becoming. You are spirit wrapped in skin. You are wisdom wrapped in emotion. You are possibility wrapped in personality. Your strength wrapped in softness. You are God's idea becoming real through your human journey. You are Spirit's idea, the divine's idea becoming real in your human journey. Tonight's lesson is not about tolerating your humanity. It's about celebrating it. You are not a mistake. Nothing about you is a mistake. Because every time you say, I am human, Spirit responds, and I am in you. And so it is.